Hey guys, welcome back to my desk. So I decided that I wanted to do another crochet and chat with you guys. So I had to go back and see because I wanted to start numbering these. So I went back to see how many crochet and chats I've done, and I've done 5 so far. So this is going to be crochet and chat number 6. So thank you guys for watching. And the very first thing I want to do before I show you what I'm making is I just want to say thank you. We're up to 207 subscribers. That just blows my mind. So thank you guys so much for watching my videos, for subscribing, and for hitting the like button. I really appreciate it. And it's really nice because I see a lot of the same names commenting, and it's always nice. I feel like I'm making new friends through this. So I'm really happy about that. So yeah, I just wanted to first just start and say thank you, and really I appreciate it so much. Little change, I can show you this. I made myself a little mouse pad to put on my desk, have my logo on it. Can't quite see the whole thing. I made this today and I did mess up on it. It's me. I was pressing it and I tried to scoot it over a little bit and I dropped it. So that's why I have this line going down, because when I dropped it, the sublimation transfer shifted and I couldn't line it back up, and yeah. So I have a line that I can't get rid of, but that's fine. Other than that, I love how it turned out. I love the background, I love the clouds, I love the little stars. So I'm really happy with how the design came out. So yeah, I just thought that'd be a nice little thing to have on my desk, because I do like to have my logo, just all around me, because I feel like it's really motivating to see that. So yeah, I want to share this with you guys. And this is my most recent project. So I started this, I want to say about 3 days ago, I think. 3 or 4, maybe around there. Yeah. And this is how far I've gotten so far. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about 6 bricks done. And I love how it looks. This is what I have left of the very first skein of this yarn. I have 3 of them, or 3 skeins of this when I started, and I was like, that should probably get me pretty far, but this is as far as I've gotten out of an entire skein of this. So yeah, I'm thinking at least 10. So I was at Walmart and I did see they had this before I had started this project even, and I saw they still had a ton of this in stock. So probably I'll stop by Walmart, pick up, I don't know, some more of these. Maybe I'll get 6 or maybe 8, depending on how much they are, and because I know I'm gonna need a lot of these, because this is a yarn eating stitch. And I made the blanket a little bit longer than I normally do, so it's not huge. Well, it's pretty big, but normally I do really small blankets, like the size for like a cat, or I guess a baby blanket, but I use them for my cats. So this is a pretty big blanket for me. I'm looking at my string and I'm like, how is it all the way down on the floor? Okay, let's try to organize this a little bit better. I know I only have 2 colors going right now, but I don't know how I've gotten everything tangled up this bad. But I have a pretty good, hopefully, length of it untangled that I'll be able to crochet from, because I absolutely hate untangling yarn. I don't like doing it. I'd rather frog a project than have to go back and untangle the yarn. And when I'm done with the project, usually when I left over scraps, oh, they get so tangled. I have this box that I just put them in, and I keep telling myself that I'm gonna go through that box and I'm gonna untangle it. And I start and I get maybe half a ball of yarn untangled, get frustrated and stop. I know, I'm gonna do it one day. And I have seen posts online, on Reddit and stuff, that there are places that you can collect all your yarn and send it to, and they will fix it up for you. They'll untangle it, roll it up into balls for you. But I'm also very cheap, and as much as I don't want to untangle it myself, I don't want to pay for it to be untangled, because I feel like if I'm gonna pay money for that, I could just go buy some new yarn. I don't even know how much it would cost. And I guess if I had like expensive yarn, then it would be worth it. But for me, like, I buy the cheapest yarn that I can find, and I just mostly just use like can I pronounce that? I cannot say it. I use this type of yarn. Acrylic. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Yeah, so I don't use like any fancy like alpaca or anything like that. One of the reasons I don't use those is because I don't eat meat, and I try not to use any animal products. I know some of the things I do, use, have like, I guess like I drink milk. Well, not really. I don't like milk, but I'll eat things that have milk in them, and I'll eat eggs, which I'm thinking about actually stopping. But yeah, so long way to say that. It's just I try to avoid animal products as much as I can, and I feel that yarn is one thing that, all these fancy animal fiber yarns might, feel really nice to crochet with and look really nice and everything, and I just personally, I don't want to try that. I don't want to use that. And also, I'm very, very cheap, and I don't know, for me, like, I'm very happy just using inexpensive yarn. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, you're wasting time making a blanket using the cheapest yarn that you could find. But for me, I like the process of making things. Half the stuff I make, I don't use. Like most of the blankets I make, I would, sometimes I would just display. I do have a few that like on my bed, but most of the blankets I make, I just take a picture and then I put them away in my closet. I have a few I use, like there's some on like my cat's beds. I have a blanket, the star blanket that I just made. That one's hanging on the back of my chair to decorate it. But yeah, I'm not big on using most of the stuff I make. And the other stuff I make is mostly amigurumi, which I guess I do use that because I just decorate my space with it. Gotta get out some more yarn, and I'm getting to my tangle here that I need to deal with, but I'm not going to yet. So I tried a little different setup this time. So I have a different tripod that I'm using, the overhead tripod, and then I'm also using my Blue Yeti microphone, which is like right in front of me, because most of the audio that I record so far has been like really, really quiet. And I know that's partly me because I tend to speak kind of quietly, so I know it's kind of me too. But I thought like if I put the microphone right in front of me, that would improve the audio a lot, but it's kind of getting in my way of seeing, and I'm trying to see my stitches. Like, I also have the camera right in front of me, so I can see through the screen, but I don't like crocheting while looking through the screen, so I'm kind of like peeking between, like off to the side, like between the phone and the microphone, so I can actually see my stitches, I guess, live instead of seeing it through the camera screen. I hate when I do this, when I have like this extra loop, but once I crochet over it, I don't see it. But I don't know, just kind of bugs me. So yeah, I've been working on this blanket a while. So I started it off, when I saw this on Bag O' Day's crochet channel, like I was just like, I have to make this. It was so pretty to me, and I was so excited to start. I rushed through my last project because I kind of just told myself I needed to finish my hippo before I started this project. So I rushed through that and got that done. And then I watched her tutorial a few times and jumped in, and when I started it, what happened, I did my chain. I still have my stitch markers because I was putting a stitch marker when I was doing the foundational chain, because I always lose track. So every 10 stitches I put a stitch marker, and I just haven't taken those out yet. But yeah, so when I started, I did my chain, and then it's a row of single crochets, did that fine. And then you need to start the shell, like the bricks or the shells. And for this shell pattern, how it works is you have a cluster of your 7 stitches. Then you do just a single crochet, and then you do another cluster of double crochets, and then you do, your single crochet again. I don't know what happened, but somehow I totally forgot that I needed to put the single crochet in here. So what I was doing was every space, like I was doing my cluster of double crochets, skipping 3 stitches, and doing another cluster instead of doing the single crochet. So when I got across the whole row, it was really like ruffled, and I was like, that doesn't look right. And I glanced back at the tutorial, and Crystal's was like nice and flat, but mine was like all like ruffled up, and I was just like, maybe I'm crocheting a little bit more tightly than she is, but I'll just keep going, and then I'm pretty sure it'll flatten out. So I went across, and then I did the row back going with the single crochet, and then I started working on, actually I think I got 2 rows of that done. And then I think I actually did 2 rows wrong somehow. And then what happened was, when I was trying to do these ones these little connecting, dropping down double crochets that go down to the row below, well, these ones actually connect into that single crochet. So I was watching the tutorial, and Crystal kept saying, okay, do your, I forgot what you call this double crochet, but she was saying, you need to do that double crochet. You're going to go down into the double crochet, or to the single crochet down here. And I was looking at mine, and I was like, I don't have a single crochet there. And I was like, I don't know, I just didn't see what was wrong. And then that's when I noticed that, I did twice as many shells as I needed. I was supposed to do shell, single crochet, and all I did was shell, all the way across. So I had to frog back this much of the blanket, pretty much 2 complete repeats almost of the rainbow. Aw, that was like not fun at the time. I was so bummed, but so I frogged it back, and then I started again. Oh, and when I frogged it back, I was trying to like just roll it into a ball as I went, made a mess. So I ended up just cutting off that part, rolling it up, and putting it to the side. So that's why this one is just attached now, because once I ran out of the rest of the skein, I just grabbed my little frogged back ball and started putting that back in here. But I just love how this looks. I think that looks just so cool. And I've been calling it, like, I think Crystal calls it a polychromatic blanket, and then a stacked brick stitch blanket. That's kind of what I've been calling it now. I think I've just been calling it like the brick blanket. And then I posted a video, a short on YouTube, and someone suggested that it looked like a mermaid, like mermaid scales. And I was like, that is so much better. I love that. So I think from now on, as I'm working on this project, I'm just going to call it my mermaid project. I think that just fits me a lot better, and it's easier for me to say. Mermaid blanket. I like that a lot. So thank you for that suggestion. So I've just been crocheting away. I've been watching a lot of crochet podcasts. One of my favorite things to watch now, especially now since I'm really back into crocheting all the time. So I did have to work today, and on my lunch break I ended up just watching Mama Llama Kayla. Or is it, wait, Llama Mama Kayla. I don't know why I say her name in a different order every time I say it. But I just love her. I was watching her video of her going over her Dollar Tree haul, and she got like a lot of different things to use for crochet. And one of the things she got was, like those little hair clips. I don't have any, but they're, I don't know what they call, like those little pinchy ones. They have like the really big ones that you can put like in the back for your ponytail, and they have the really tiny ones that you can use like for holding back your bangs or something, or putting them on the front of your hair. And she was actually using those for stitch markers, and I thought that was a really great idea, because when I'm doing amigurumi, I actually hate opening and attaching stitch markers, and I don't know why. It's just, I feel like it just slows me down so much. I don't like to do that. So I was thinking, like, that was such a great idea. So I think the next time I go to the Dollar Tree, I'm going to see if I can grab some of those. It would be so much easier than opening stitch markers like every round, especially for, like, you know, early on in the amigurumi projects when it's only like, you know, 5 or 6 stitches for the round and having to stop, move up the stitch marker. So yeah, I'm going to give that a try. I think. Did that stitch come out? Yeah, it looks okay. So yeah. So right now I'm on the easy row where I'm just doing a single crochet into each of the stitches of the row. It's so hard for me to talk and try to crochet at the same time. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update, show you guys my project, chat with you guys, and say thank you. I was playing around trying to, you know, get a different camera setup where I can do like a nice, like, because I wanted to do one that has like a face cam where I'm actually talking to the camera and not just staring at me, my hands crocheting. I don't know. I don't have like a nice yarnscape, a nice yarn room. Okay, that stitch got really messy. I'm gonna do that one again. So when I was trying to set up the camera, I couldn't find a nice spot that I thought looked cute. So yeah, I'm gonna keep playing around with it, try to find a spot, because I do like the, you know, where you can see the person who's talking is always nice. Even though when I watch most crochet podcasts, I actually just listen. Like, I'll go back, like if it's like a project or something, like I'll want to see the project, but for the most part I'm just gonna have it like headphones on and just be listening, not actually watching it, because usually I'm doing something else, and it's just, for me, what, you know, instead of like watching a TV show or something, I like to just have a crochet podcast going in the background. But still, I think it's nice to just kind of know, I guess, to know kind of who you're listening to, I guess. Put a name with the face, I guess. So yeah, so I'm going to play around with that a little bit more, and hopefully I can get a decent setup that I'm, you know, more comfortable with, that doesn't look super messy in the background or anything like that. Alright, how far? I am almost there. So one of the problems I do have with crochet, especially with blankets... Oh, this is getting tangled. Oh no. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so this is like under the microphone somehow. Let's move that out the way. So I was saying, like, one of the things I have problems with when it comes to crochet is keeping the edges straight. I mean, I am carrying the yarn up the side of this, so it's not horrible, I guess. And it is going to have a border, so, but that's just always like, my edges are never nice. So kind of doing borders on projects is a absolute must for me, because my edges are just not going to look great. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up this row. So I have been kind of thinking about starting another project while I work on this one, because I love this pattern, I love this project, I love how it's coming out. But it's for me, but for me, it's a really slow moving project. Like, I feel like right now I know I'm crocheting really slow, because I'm trying to like look in between the camera where I can try to see what I'm doing. But just when I'm like working on this project on my own, I feel like it goes really slow. And I think it's just because, you know, the shells are 7 double crochets each, and the blanket's bigger than what I normally make, so it's just taking me a really long time, you know, to do each row. So I kind of want to start another project in between, you know, something that is a little bit quicker for me. And I saw that the Crochet Crowd, Mikey, had posted this corner to corner log cabin blanket, and I love the way it looks. And for his, he used like fall colors. I think he had like the center is white. I know he got purple. I think probably some grays, maybe orange. But it was a very fall themed because, you know, it's a log cabin. That's kind of cabin time. It's kind of just like, you know, that's just the theme of it. But I actually wanted to do one using some crazy bright colors because I love my bright colors. Sorry, just had a kitty run in. What's up, Jerry? See, is he gonna come visit? Jerry. Yeah, my life revolves around the cats. It's like having kids. I just love them so much, but they are a handful. I keep stopping because I'm looking down because he's watching me. I think he wants to jump on the desk. And that's why my project, this one, like, I'm using black yarn. I don't know if you can see this, but it is just covered already in cat hair. Like, look at that. Cat hair everywhere. So by the time my blanket is done, it's like, it's part cat hair. So I guess it does have some natural animal fibers in it. Ginger, what are you doing? Right, so I'm almost to the end. And I'm always, whenever I get to the end, I don't want to count all these single crochets. So I try to like make sure I have enough. So I know, let's see. I think that's the end. I don't think I need to actually put another one here. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's anyway. Yeah, so that's right, I think. Oh, and I'm changing colors, so I actually need to not finish. Oh, I'll just do that again. I need to not finish this stitch. So I can draw up my black yarn. So let's do that. Okay, snug that down a little bit. Chain 1. And let's turn it. Start going back. Alright, so this one I need to do 4. I always mess up the beginning row, so I'm probably gonna take a few times to actually figure this out. And my yarn is like, I am so badly tangled. Okay, so I know I need to do 4 single crochets. And then I need to do my drop down one. And this is when I realized that my project was going wrong, because when you do this double crochet, there's a single one right here. So you do your double crochet, you go into the bottom of that single crochet, and then you finish up your double crochet. But when I tried to do that down here, I didn't have that single crochet, so that's when I realized that I had messed up. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have to skip the one that is behind that extended double crochet. And head across. Alright, so I think I'm going to end this here. So I didn't get a lot done on camera, but I mostly just wanted to come on and just chat with you guys. Biggest thing again was just saying thank you. I'm so happy to have 207 subscribers, so I really appreciate that. I'm gonna try to do a little bit more of these like chat with me's. Hopefully they'll be a lot smoother. I'll have a lot more to talk about. I feel like once I kind of just get into the rhythm of like crocheting and chatting at the same time, it won't take me so much brain power. So I think hopefully it'll get easier as we go. But that is going to be it for today. So I want to thank you guys for watching, for sticking around. And if you enjoyed anything about this, I would really appreciate it if you could give me a like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'm just really excited and really want to see my channel grow, and I'm really just excited about this. So thank you guys. I might post a few more shorts today. We'll see. But if not, I will see you guys tomorrow. So thank you and have a great day.